What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about a very commonly asked question I get. Should you get the Pixel 7 Pro or the S22 Plus? I put this in my best $300 phone list, and a lot of people wanted to see this comparison, and for good reason. Both two very good phones. The Pixel has a very good camera, but I think you guys will be surprised. The S22 Plus also offers quite a bit as well too, and the cameras are actually still really good on the S22 Plus as well. So let's go ahead and dive in here. So hardware wise, you do have very nice designs on both of these phones here. So the Pixel has a glossy back here, which in this color it really doesn't pick up fingerprints. I'm sure on the black version you'll see like smudges and stuff like that. But what's cool about the S22 Plus is that it has a matte finish, so even on the black version you don't see any fingerprints at all. You have two very nice designs on here as well too. They both feel pretty solid in the hand. They don't really cut into the palm. They have that nice feel to them. And yeah, hardware wise, they're both IP68 dust and water resistant as well too. And the Pixel is definitely a little bit bigger than the S22 Plus as well. Not by much, but definitely just a tad bit bigger. On the S22 Plus, you do have a 6.6 inch display. It's dynamic AMOLED, 120Hz HDR10 Plus, 1750 nits peak brightness. It is a completely flat display as well too. It's 1080p as well, 393 for the PPI. The Pixel 7 Pro has a slightly bigger display at 6.7 inches. It's LTPO AMOLED, 120Hz. This one gets up to 1500 nits peak brightness. And then it is a 1440p display, so it is a higher resolution display than the S22 Plus, and it's 512 for the PPI. Two really good displays here. It really just comes down to personal preference. You do get the higher resolution display on the Pixel 7 Pro, so you can kind of enjoy that 1440p content. But honestly, they both look really good looking at it side by side. You do have the completely flat panel on the S22 Plus as well too, which some people, you may prefer. So it really comes down to that. They both do pretty good in direct sunlight as well. I think Samsung's display is also a little bit more saturated as well. It has just a little bit more of a colorful look to it. But those are essentially the big display differences here. Alright, so you do have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 on the S22 Plus, Google Tensor G2 processor on the Pixel. As you can see, slight score differences, but nothing really too major here. So like benchmark wise, they're pretty similar. And like I said, getting into like animations and the feel of the device, they both are very smooth. The Pixel experience is really surrounded by Google. I think Samsung experience is kind of more for power users these days. You got Samsung desktop support, you got Good Lock. There's a lot you could do with these two phones, but like animation wise and just getting into applications, they're both smooth, as you can see. I don't think one is really that much smoother than the other. I think they've done a fantastic job with making these phones really smooth. Try Subway Surf. Yeah, so they're almost pretty much on par with each other, and obviously they have similar benchmark scores. Let's go ahead and get into PUBG here. Now there is going to be a difference when it comes to gaming. It's not that the Pixel is weaker than the S22 Plus. It's just that these Snapdragon processors are a little bit more optimized. So if I'm a gamer, I'm going with the S22 Plus, off the bat, and I'll show you guys. Now I think PUBG is the best example here. The Pixel is going to do a pretty good job with PUBG and gaming. You can see you have HDR Extreme, but you don't have the 90 frames option on the Pixel. But like I said, for anybody gaming, this still does a fairly good job when it comes to performance. Now the S22 Plus, like I said, it is a little bit better optimized here. So you will have the 90 frames option for PUBG. As you can see, you got that smooth Extreme Plus on here. So it is going to be a little bit more smoother. So if you're a competitive gamer, then obviously you're going to go with the S22 Plus. I don't really have major heating problems with either of these phones. I'm not a huge heavy gamer like that. So, I haven't had any crashes or any issues like that. Alright, so you do have 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage on the S22 Plus, and then the Pixel, it does have also for the base model 128 gigs, and then you have 12 gigs of RAM on here. Alright, so I do want to go ahead and talk about the fingerprint scanner on here. The S22 Plus is just so much better. It is much smoother. It's an ultrasonic. The Pixel has the optical one, which is fast. Don't get me wrong, it's fast, but you can definitely tell like the speed difference. But they both have face unlock as well too, which is really nice. Let's test out these speakers. We're at max volume. Oh yeah, the Pixel definitely has a better speaker here. The bass is just so much louder on the Pixel, and then you also do have just I think a cleaner sound. Yeah, the bass is nowhere near as good on the S22 Plus. So I think the Pixel wins by a good margin actually. Alright, so I want to go ahead and discuss the cameras on both of these phones. So the Pixel 7 Pro has a 50 megapixel standard and a 48 megapixel telephoto. It does 5 times optical zoom and goes all the way up to 30 times zoom. You also have a 12 megapixel ultra wide, shoots in 4K 60 with a 10.8 megapixel selfie cam that shoots in 4K 60 as well. The S22 Plus has a 15 megapixel standard. It has a 3 times optical, and then it goes also all the way up to 30 times zoom. And then this phone has a 10 megapixel telephoto, 12 megapixel ultra wide, shoots in 8K 24, has a 10 megapixel selfie cam that shoots in 4K 60. So I was pretty impressed with these shots here, so I wanted to know what you guys thought. Do you guys think the Pixel camera is better or the S22 Plus's camera is better? I thought it was actually pretty close, so let me know what you guys think. Alright, so I do want to discuss battery life here in the whole battery situation. I do think the S22 Plus has the better battery life and the better standby time as well too. So it has actually a smaller battery at 4500 milliamps. It's 45 watt charging with wireless and reverse wireless charging. And then on the Pixel has a 5000 milliamp hour battery that's charged a bit slower at 23 watts. And then it does have a 23 watt wireless charging and reverse wireless charging as well. So basically, like I said, I think the battery life is just better on the S22 Plus. You know, there could be various reasons why, but it definitely is noticeable. The Pixel 7 Pro has pretty good battery life. You can pretty much squeeze about 6 hours of screen on time out of its phone. It's just the standby time is just nowhere near as good on the S22 Plus as well. So that pretty much wraps this one up. I think it's a pretty close comparison. Both phones offer a lot, and you would kind of have to choose between the pros and cons of both. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will catch you guys in the next one.